welcome. I created this space because I recently turned 30 and I wanted to give everyone in their 20s a little advice or life-changing perspectives that did change my life, so maybe they can help you out in some way. So today I want to talk about being a yes man and saying yes to absolutely everything. There's different scenarios that I want to talk about this, but first let's talk about just saying yes to everyone. Let's talk about when you're with your friends and they want to make plans. I don't know if it's a generational thing or if it's a culture thing. From where I'm from, Mexico, our culture is very yes, you have to say yes to everything, and actually people take it really bad when you say no. If you say like, oh, let's go for coffee, I'm like, no, they take offense to it. So it is okay to say no. We're gonna get into that, but it has trickled down in the way that we do stuff. Even with your friends or whoever, if we tend to do it all the time. And granted, I'm not perfect, I'm giving you this advice, but it's something that I still do a lot. When you're talking to someone's like, hey, let's grab some coffee. Yeah, of course, we totally should. And that's it. Like, that's the end of the conversation. It's like, yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, of course we will. Instead of saying like, you know what, I'm super busy right now, I'm not gonna be able to make it, or like I can't right now, whatever, we just say like, yeah, of course. Or even when making plans with your friends, you're like, sure, let's, if there is a specific time, like, oh, let's grab lunch Monday. Yeah, of course. But then it comes to the day and maybe you are busy, so you start postponing, or at the end of the day, you just make an excuse for it because you, from the beginning, you knew you really didn't want to, or you didn't have the time, or yeah, again, maybe you just didn't feel like it. Instead of saying no from the beginning, you like keep pushing plans, like, you know what, I can't today, maybe let's do it tomorrow, maybe let's do it next week. And you could have just said no from the beginning, because what that turns into is you postponing plans, making excuses, usually kind of lying of what you have to do, instead of just saying like flat out, you know what, I'm busy. You know what, today I want to stay at home. Today I don't feel like talking to anyone. I don't want to socialize. I don't feel like coffee. Anyway, it's okay to say no. It just looks worse at the end if you keep postponing or making excuses to just being like, sorry, I can't. I'm busy. Or, well, maybe you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings and be like, I don't want to go to coffee with you. But there's ways to just not be a yes man all the time. Another scenario where this happens all the time is in the workspace. It is also okay to say no to your boss, to your coworkers. And in what sense am I saying this? Let's imagine you sent out resumes and you get an interview. And they're like, hey, is there an your interview can be tomorrow from 2 to 3 p.m. and you are completely busy, you have some sort of plan that you really can't move or whatever. And instead of, a lot of people would just say like, yeah, I'll move my day, I'll do anything, yeah, okay, sure, whatever time you say. It is okay to like tell them, I can't that time. Is there any way we could do it an hour later? Is there any way we could do it a day later or something like that? You can always ask. Maybe they can't. Maybe it's the only time they're available, and well, then you can have a discussion. But from the get-go, you're like, oh, yes, whatever. You're just not benefiting yourself. You're just hurting yourself in like doing everything possible and scrambling, because maybe you already had something planned and you have to move that around. You can tell them, you can give options and be like, I can't at this time, can we do it later? It's also in workspace in general, like once you got the job, for example, you can say like, hey, I'm busy right now. I, for example, happened to me during this time that we're completely working from home, and I felt that because it was work, I had to be available for my boss all the time. And at some point I realized like I also have other stuff to do, and if I'm busy, like he'll call me up, most of the time we'll pick up calls from my boss, because usually if they do call, it's something they need to discuss, it might be important. But if you are in the middle of something, you can tell them like, hey, I'm busy right now, can you call me in 30 minutes? Can you call me, like I usually take a day off I usually take Tuesdays because we do a podcast recording. So my boss knows that those days before 5, I'm usually not available. So if he calls me for something, I'm like, hey, sorry, it's Tuesday. I'm recording. He'll be like, oh, I understand. I'm not going to lose my job over it. I'm not like, he's not upset at me because I'm busy at that right exact minute. Like, it's fine if you tell them like, what, you know what, let's talk in half an hour, let's talk in 1 hour. I had many times where it's like, I need to talk to you right now. I'm like in the middle of lunch. It's like, can we talk in 30 minutes because I'm eating? I used to be the person that was like, yeah, drop my lunch and answer the call. It was like, why? Like, there's no need to you make a chaos out of your life if you're in the middle of something and you're gonna half do that something and then half be on the call because I'm still in the middle of lunch, and actually kind of move it around. So instead of giving a lot more examples, I'm just gonna tell you that it is okay to sometimes say no in that way. And then another perspective that I also think it's very important, it's not just about saying no, but it's more about not being the yes man all the time, is in friendships. And I'm talking specifically close relationships, close friendships, even family sometimes, and it even works with work a little bit too. Whenever I'm doing a project, whenever I do I was doing an assignment for school or whatever, there is nothing helpful if I'm showing you a project and asking you specifically for feedback, in my case, there's nothing helpful in you just applauding and being like, yes, it's perfect. Everything you're doing is great. Awesome. It's 100% great. One, I don't believe it. I'm not perfect. Not everything I do is going to be perfect. And two, I'd rather you give me your honest opinion than you just tell me like, yes, good job. It happened to me during my master's program. I had a friend that I used to send my assignments to just to get like a second opinion on my essays, specifically because English is a second language, so sometimes I need some grammar revisions and stuff like that. So I used to send my assignments to him and like, give me your opinion. Well, I used to send it to 2 friends. Give me my opinion. One friend would be like, this is great. 100%. Yep, you're gonna get 100. This is perfect. I'm like, okay. And then the other friend would be like, oh, here's some revisions. You got some grammar mistakes here. Why don't you talk about this a little bit better? And that was honest feedback, constructive criticism. Solution, I stopped sending my assignments to friend number 1 because all he would do would be like, yep, that's perfect. He was my hype man. He was my yes man. But that did nothing for me. The other friend that would give me feedback was way more helpful, and I appreciated that so much more, because that way he's helping me grow. He's helping me be better, and instead of just telling me like, yes, you're perfect just as you are, because like I've said many times, none of us are. So that's another part of like being a yes man. Do not be afraid to actually speak your mind, and like if you don't like something or you think it could be better, you can always give your opinion on it. Of course, I'm not saying be mean at anyone or scream at anyone. All these opinions can always come as positive feedback, as constructive criticism, but I guarantee that it will be much more appreciated in the long run. Sometimes people don't take criticism that well at the beginning, but in the long run, they will understand that you are only trying to actually help them. You're not trying to put them down, but you're actually trying to help them. These videos, I would love for anyone that does not like anything that I'm talking about or anything in these videos to tell me. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, because this is how we grow and this is how we become better. So hype man, you don't need hype man. You need friends that will actually tell you the truth. And you as a friend will also be more valuable, and you will help them a lot more if you're able to express your true feelings to them instead of just being like, yes, that's awesome, perfect. And this relates to the thing at the beginning. Instead of saying like, you know what, I'm really busy, and you just say like, yes, we should get coffee, but you really don't want to, express your honest opinions. So in conclusion of all this, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to express your honest opinions. I hope this helps, and I hope everyone stops being a yes man and we can actually say what's on our minds. Hey, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I would love to also know your opinion, so leave a comment about what you think. Even if you disagree, I would love to hear from you. So hope you have a great rest of your day and stay strong.